Hello and welcome to the Life in Loops YouTube channel. My name is Kirsty. I am the designer and dyer of all things Life in Loops. Our crochet hooks are made by my husband Paul. He does a wonderful job. He's got some really pretty ones up in the shed at the minute. Can't wait to show you. We're kind of stashing a lot of them away for the Queensland Yarn Show. So they probably will be available online from the 21st of August, but I'll give you a sneak peek in the next episode. I've brought a few things in to show you today. So as you know, this is just our space to be able to share our makes, show off some of our products, talk to you about my works in progress, what I'm doing there. Yeah, so just my space to show you bits, I suppose. So those of you who have been around for a little while, you will know that I do a yarn cake for every season. So summer, winter, autumn, spring. And then I do one for his birthday. So it's his birthday cake, and one for my birthday is my birthday cake. So winter, autumn, I did like an avocado cake. I think there's still a few in 8-ply lying around. Winter, we did a cinnamon, it's called cinnamon sugar. So it's like a gradient of cinnamon. There's still a few in 4-ply floating around for those ones, I think. I think it might be a couple in 8-ply left, but most of them are 4-ply, maybe 3 or 4. But I have dyed our spring cake because, oh, please let this cold weather go away. I'm actually going to release this one a little bit earlier. So we'll release this one again at Queensland Yarn Show, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek of it today. It is called Roses Are Red. Probably gives it away a little bit. So it is a gradient cake of 5 colours of red. I haven't worked this one up yet. I purchased mine just the other day to be able to make another top out of this one in 4-ply. So I'll get onto that in the next couple of weeks. Again, I want it for Queensland. I want it for the yarn show. Sometimes it's easier to show you how things work up. I'll pop a picture somewhere, I don't know where. I haven't really done a lot of the editing stuff yet, but I'll pop a picture up of the cinnamon yarn cake and how it works up. I actually made Dahlia Blooms by Mel Harrison for that one. So it's like just a little tablecloth. I've got my grandfather's old side table next to the lounge, and I made the Dahlia Blooms to go over the top of that. It does need a little bit of love, the table. So yeah, I made Dahlia Blooms to go over the top of that, and it looks amazing. So I'll pop a picture up. While I'm talking about pictures, I think I did mention a couple of episodes that one of my testers, Mandy, has made a heather blanket. So heather is one of our patterns. And she made hers out of bamboo merino in the emerald colorway. So I did finally remember to ask her this morning, and she's happy for me to show you a photo of that. So I'll stick it somewhere also. As I say, I'm not still learning how to do all the editing stuff and bits and pieces. So, but I will pop a picture somehow, some way in here so that you can see it finished. It looks really squishy. Yeah, really, really warm. Yeah, so Roses Are Red yarn cake will be out on the 21st of August. I have dyed all my wholesale orders for this, and I think I've only dyed maybe 6 or 7. Oh gosh, I'm like one of those kids, 6 or 7. I didn't even think about that before I did it, but I think there's about 6 or 7 of 4-ply left over, and the same of 8-ply. So yeah, I think they're going to look amazing worked up. I'm not really a red girl. I guess maybe more of a green girl. Speaking of green, the next yarn cake will come out pretty thick and fast after this. So it'll actually come out September, is going to be my birthday cake. And because it is a milestone birthday, I think every birthday is a milestone, but you know, apparently it's a big deal, this one. I am doing my favorite color, and it happens to be green. It's not avocado. I have dyed a couple so that I can show my retail people. I haven't rolled any up yet, so maybe I'll roll one up for, the next episode to be able to show you. So it'll be out September at some stage. Okay, let's talk about finished objects. I've actually finished a few things, and I was only thinking about this after I did our last episode, and thinking that, as a crocheter, some of our projects actually take a hot minute to get finished. I've got multiple works in progress. Obviously you haven't seen everything. So I've actually found this really helpful to go, you know what, I need to finish a couple of things to be able to show you them done. And I actually got a couple of things finished, which was really nice. So I spoke to you, I think, a couple of episodes ago, about how I was making myself a merino and bamboo jumper or sweatshirt, whatever you want to call it, jumper. So this is said jumper. It is called Bella. I think it's called Bella Sweater. It comes with the option of 4 or 5 different sleeves. I chose to do the big bell sleeves. So it's not a very long jumper. I don't know whether I can't even fit the whole thing into the screen, but it's not overly long. So it's definitely going to be a jumper that you need to, or that I need to wear with, jeans or a nice pair of pants. Like, it's not a tights or tracksuit pants, lazy day kind of jumper. So this one I used caramel and chalk and navy speckles, and I double stranded them together. I used a 6mm crochet hook. The pattern did call for a 6mm crochet hook on DK weight, but I didn't have any 8-ply merino in stock when I started making it, so that's why I double stranded. I used 4 balls of each color, and I used every gram. I kid you not, honestly. Whichever one's the last sleeve that I made, I had to double strand. It's funny, I tied both balls on at the same time, but somehow I ended up with like this much chocolate and navy speckles more than that was on the caramel. Whether it was a tension thing or I've just, anyway, that's how it ended up. And I ended up having to double strand that much into this much to be able to finish it off and not start new balls. So I actually had to wind it back. And so in each shell is 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, I think, off the top of my head. So on this sleeve, on the last few shells, I had to pull it back to 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, because I was running out of yarn, and I didn't want to start another 2 new balls of yarn for, I think it was 5 shells or something. So it's probably a little bit tighter, but that, it's no big deal. So yes, it's called Bella Sweater. I know the lady's name was Janine that wrote it. I can't think of her surname, but I can link it in, or I'll put it into the show notes so that you guys can grab it if you love it. As I say, there was 4 different sleeve types. There was a short sleeve, because it's like a raglan style jumper. So that you could have a short sleeve where I think it finishes around here. And then there's another slimline long sleeve. But yeah, there was 4 or 5 different sleeve options in it, but I thought I would like the big bell. I did finish it, I think maybe a row or 2 early, just so it kind of sits right at my watch band. I thought if it hangs over my hands, it will drive me nuts. So I did finish it a couple of rows early so that it finishes over just before my watch band. And I thought that would be long enough for me. Definitely a jumper that I would still need to wear something underneath. As you can see, it's quite lacy. And yeah, for me, I would be more comfortable to wear something underneath it than not. It's probably a going out of winter, coming into winter kind of jumper, just because of the amount of laciness in it. unless you put a long sleeve on underneath it, I suppose. That's an option, Kirsty. What a goose. Anyway, so yes, chocolate navy speckles, caramel double stranded. I am very, very happy with this. I have steamed it. I was actually quite surprised how much it dropped when I steamed it. Like, I was really surprised. But it did let the stitches relax. And yeah, it's lovely. I haven't worn it yet, but I think it's on my cards for maybe the weekend. We'll see if we go out. Maybe I should make my husband take me out for dinner or something. It's a good idea. Anyway, other finished projects. I have finished my first pair of knitted socks. I am so stoked. So this colorway I showed you, I think last week or last episode, and it's You Are Amazing by VK Yarns. Worked up really, really pretty. So obviously I did the contrasting. It was a sock set. So the blue was a mini, and then the white speckles was the 100-gram ball. So I did the cuffs and the toes with the mini. I wasn't sure, because it's like the first pair of socks that I've made all the way through. I'm still not sure whether I can get the cuff, heel and toe out of one mini, or so I think the pair that I've the next pair that like it's in my work in progress, I've only done the cuff and the heel. I don't think I'd have enough in that to do the toe. So anyway, it's just a learning curve that I am going through with them. That pattern was just Crazy Sock Lady, vanilla socks, 9-inch circulars. Her tutorials are fabulous. I tried every which way to be able to knit socks. I tried the double pointed needles. I tried the magic loop. I tried knitting 2 on magic loop. And that was just the way that I found suited me the best, was the 9-inch circulars. So yeah, I'm really stoked with how they come on, so much so I may have cast on multiple other socks. I won't show you them all at once because we'll be here all day. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with those. I think these ones took me around about 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks to make. It's not my main, it's not the main thing that I do, main projects that I do. So obviously I crochet a lot more than I knit. So, I won't finish a pair of socks a week or anything like that. So I am getting faster though. I had to do a train trip to Sydney for work whatever day it was last week, Tuesday, I think. And I took my these socks with me. So I took my what's this one called? All Dolled Up from Skein Sisters. And I only had the toe left to go on this one, but I literally cast on the cuff and I was onto like the leg in under 2 hours. So for me, I was pretty impressed with that. I think, the first cuff that I did, it probably took me about 5 hours just to knit the first cuff. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with that. So there's a work in progress, another pair of socks. This one obviously is finished. I only have one set of needles for the toe at the minute. So I kind of have to, finish one set, move on to the, the next lot. And I've only maybe, 15, 20 rows down on the leg for this one, for that work in progress. But that's not the only thing that I have finished, the socks and the jumper. I have also made a little, I'm showing my age. I'm really showing my age. I'm calling it a dilly bag. God, I'm showing my age. So I just made a little bag. I like to keep all my projects separated and everything I need for my projects in a bag. Over the years, I have bought multiple. I probably have maybe 15 work in progress bags or project bags. But they're all big. So obviously when you're working on a blanket or a jumper or, a top or whatever, I tend to carry more yarn with me than just one ball and one pair of needles. Like, I carry more. So I designed this little dilly bag on Sunday morning. I was talking to my testers yesterday. I didn't know whether it was something that we as crocheters would use a lot, but they said they would. So they said that they would use it for when, they're taking just one ball somewhere to work on a granny square or, infinity scarf or whatever. So they said they would use like a one ball dilly bag. So I think I might make multiple sizes. So this will be, a one ball bag, and then we'll do like a medium and a large one. So this one I've just taken the base of my Sunday stroll market bag pattern and just kind of changed how it come up, and obviously the base isn't as big. Yeah, so anyway, I'll write it up over the next couple of weeks. They're crazy busy at the minute working on another pattern. Hopefully I should be able to show you, maybe not next episode, but maybe the one after. Hopefully we're getting close. I did talk to the girls yesterday about a release date. I did want to get it done for the Queensland Yarn Show, but I knew I was probably pushing the friendship a little bit. So we've stretched it out, and I asked them yesterday whether they'd be good to release it, to have theirs finished by my birthday, which is the 8th of September. And they all kind of thought that they would be close enough if good enough. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have that one released by my birthday. So I'll be able to show you in the next couple of weeks. I've been building up and telling you about this for a couple of episodes now, and I haven't shown you. So yeah, hopefully I can show you really, really soon. I'm really excited about this blanket. Yeah, I'm really excited about this blanket. I think everyone is going to love it. I'm actually really... So I've been designing for a little while. There's only a couple of blankets that I've actually been I've loved them all. I love the process of doing them all. When I seen Heather come together, it was actually really emotional. So I wrote that blanket for my grandma. I'll put a photo of it up, for you guys to have a look. My grandma passed, a couple of weeks before Paul and I got married. So we've been married nearly 25 years. And she passed a couple of weeks before we got married. And so even now, writing that blanket or writing that pattern, it was more of a real emotional pattern from a memories perspective, rather than was proud of it perspective, if that makes sense. So I mean, I love it and I'm proud of it, but it was more of an emotional blanket for me than it was a pride thing. This one I'm really proud of. And I don't say that about myself very often. I am a Virgo. I do not give myself credit. It's not something that Virgos do very well. But I'm really proud of this blanket and how it's coming up. So, yeah, I'm hoping everybody loves it as much as I do. I'm sure we will. Anyway, I digress because I was talking to you about my works in progress. So I started a scrappy shawl last time when we were talking. So to take some of the, scraps out of my 4-ply bucket, I'm double stranding colour with white. And this is where we are at. So it's probably not too far from being done. So if I kind of put it over my shoulders now, it's coming along nice. I'll probably make it a little bit bigger. This one I will probably donate. So my mum and dad live in a retirement village or an over 55s village, whatever they're called. I call it a nursing home. I get in trouble for it all the time. But they're the people that they live without. They don't live with other people, but the other residents that are living in this retirement village, they're all lovely. They do a whole heap of fundraising for different charities, and you know, a lot of the time, like their oncology units or cancer charities, breast cancer, biggest morning tea, all those kind of things. And mum often says to me, have you got something that you can donate? And I'm like, I probably do, but I just haven't, if that makes sense, because we're still taking bits and pieces away to different festivals. So I'm like, once I've taken them to all the shows, well, then you can have them. But these scrappy shawls, I think, will be a great, great little prizes or donations that they can raffle off and or give to the charities or whatever. So I put a little stitch marker where I was when we last spoke. So I've added a fair whack to it since then. I think I'm almost at 300 grams that I've taken out of my scrap bucket, which is very exciting. There's probably another, I don't know. There's still a fair bit in said scrap bucket. Let's not joke. We have lots and lots in the scrap bucket. So and even more going in on a day-to-day basis. So I'll probably get a couple of these shawls out of the scrap bucket. I do double strand it with white, any color, using a 4mm crochet hook with that one. Probably could have gone up to a 4.5, but I just had the 4 in front of me when I was when I started it, and I thought that'd do, and it does. It's doing. Look, I'm not precious on my crochet hook size. I like, so our 8-ply cotton, and I think I have spoken about this before. The blanket that I'm making at the minute is 8-ply cotton, 4mm crochet hook. A lot of the time, so my top that I started, last time we were talking, so this one I'm actually making in our 8-ply cotton with a 4.5mm crochet hook. So I guess sometimes it just depends on what's in front of me, what I pick up, and just what's close by. I'm not precious about it. Our 4-ply cotton, for the most, I will use a 3.5mm crochet hook with our 4-ply cotton. But the Dahlia blooms that I'm going to show you, or that I showed you earlier, actually made with a 4mm. So, and I think the top, like I'm planning on making this top out of that red yarn cake. And I will probably do it with a 4mm crochet hook. So, I'm not, as I say, I'm not overly precious about what hook I use with what yarn. As long as the end result's what I want, I don't mind. So top. I did show you this one last time. So it's going to be one of those, make 2 panels, shove them over your shoulder, and then sew it up underneath the arms, like so a summer top for Queensland Yarn Show. I had thought I was going to make each piece, well, they are made individually, and I've just kind of clipped them together at the minute with stitch markers. But I wanted to make sure that my colours were the same on both sides. So if there was any variegation, like any variant between shades and stuff like that, it wouldn't be so noticeable. Control freak. But yeah, so it's coming up really, really nice. I'm really, really happy with this. So it's basically a mixed berry box. I've got the berry twisted in this, and I don't have the light raspberry or the baby raspberry in the baby black currant. But it's to kind of give you an idea of how the mixed berry box would work together. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really, really liking it. So yeah, I'm not far away from having this one done, so maybe I can have this one finished by the time we talk again. And I probably will have the red one started as well. What other works in progress did I bring in to show you? So all dolled up socks, you've seen those ones, and the socks that are in my little dilly bag. I only started these today was my kitchen project this morning. So this is Skeen Sisters, and I think this colorway is called Sorcery. So yeah, it's working out really, really pretty. Really pretty, that purple yarn. I'm really impressed with it. I have cast on another couple of pairs. They're hiding in the study. I haven't had any more yarn. I have had 2 balls of yarn come in. They are also in my work study, not in here. It's sock yarn from the Nunda Woolen Mill, and it's just a red and a blue. So nothing crazy fancy. For those of you who don't know, we live in Newcastle. Our local NRL team is the Newcastle Knights. They wear red and blue. We go to all the home games. Generally, we're really, really passionate about football. Like, we listen to a lot of podcasts about football. Yeah, all the things. But this year, even though the Knights have been playing really well, I think we've had so much going on with Life in Loops that we haven't kind of given it as much attention as we normally would. But we still go. We'll still go to the home games. In fact, that let's say this pair of socks will come with me tomorrow night. I tend to knit while I'm watching the football because I can do it without looking, and it's a small, contained little bag that I can take with me. And yeah, I can just take everything. Actually, most of the time I just shove my knitting needles in my jumper pocket, and whatever sock and ball of yarn into my jumper pocket. So I normally don't even take a bag. What else? That's it about yarn. I have been keeping track of how much yarn I've used, how much I've spent, how much I've rolled, how much I dyed, like I said we would. I might do, I'll see how I'm tracking. I might do like a little separate episode just with those numbers on either 31st of July, 1st of August, something like that, wherever it falls kind of around a weekend. And I'll give you the numbers. At this stage, I think I've put around about 1,600 grams. No. Yes. 1,600 grams in, and I have taken out just over 1,000. So I've still got a little way to go to get more out than I've brought in. And I think I'm sitting somewhere like I've dyed 15 kilos of yarn and rolled about 14 and a half, give or take. That's it. Reading, watching life stuff. I am just starting to do this. I've found I watch a lot of YouTube knitters. Haven't found a lot of crocheters. So if you've got any, that do this kind of thing, have a chat with you and show you projects, different yarns, all that kind of stuff. So if you find anyone, or if there's someone that you can recommend, let me know. Especially if there's someone in Australia. A lot of the knitters that I watch or listen to on YouTube, they're usually in the United States or United Kingdom. So they're talking about yarns that we possibly can't get, or actually we can get it, but it's insane, like insane pricing. Yeah, so if there's anyone in Australia, I'd be really keen to know, especially if there's crocheters. So if you watch any other crocheters, not so much tutorials, like video tutorials and stuff like that, but, just having these conversations, you and me, and talking about works in progress and stuff like that, I'd be really keen to hear if you find anyone. As I say, most of the ones that I watch are knitters. So I'm kind of taking the lead from there at the minute. But anyway, so reading, watching, life stuff. Reading, I am currently reading, as in a paper book, the Fourth Wing series. I'm up to the second book. I don't read a lot anymore. I used to be a real nut. I used to read a lot. I've actually found the last few months, I go to bed and I go to sleep. I don't go to bed to read. And I'm usually either crocheting or whatever, and I can't pick up a paper book and read a paper book while I'm crocheting. Can swipe on my Kindle, so maybe I just need to pick up the same book on my Kindle, I don't know. But anyway, the Fourth Wing series, I've read the first book. I'm halfway through the second book. It is slow. I'm finding it really slow. So yeah, as I say, I'm about halfway through. Hopefully I can get it finished at some point. I am also listening to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks a lot when I'm doing Life in Loops work. I am currently listening to the Game of Thrones series. Not, and this is going to sound really funny. So, as a general rule, because both of these books that I'm reading and listening to are fantasy sci-fi. Well, not so much sci-fi, but fantasy kind of books. And I'm generally, as a general rule, not a fantasy book reader. Obviously we watched Game of Thrones, and I'd said to Paul I would really like to read the book. I bought the book. I've just never had time to pick it up and read it. So I thought I'd listen to it. Really, really enjoying it. I guess for like 33 hours or something. And I kind of listen to it for half an hour of an afternoon, or when I'm doing some Life in Loop stuff like today or tomorrow or whatever. So I'll get through it eventually. I've already got the second and third book in my library, and lots of Audible credits. So if you've got any recommendations for any really good books, Audible books, like audio books, I'd love to know. Yeah, let me know. Watching. We have watched some really good, and I say we've watched, so we watch TV, but you know, as you guys know, as a crocheter, I tend to not watch a lot of TV, but I do listen to it. So Little House on the Prairie on Netflix, we've just finished watching that. I really enjoyed that. It was light. There was no like really in-depth characters. There was no blood, gore, guts, no, look, I swear like a trooper, but there was no swearing. It was just light, nice, not something, not the general run-of-the-mill TV show anymore, I suppose. So we really enjoyed it, just for something really light. And we also just finished watching I Will Find You. It was also on Netflix. I really enjoyed it. Bit of a thriller, not a murder mystery, but like, yeah, just a bit of a thriller, plot twist at the end. I won't give it all away because you might not have watched it. But yeah, and we did really enjoy that. I think it was maybe 8 episodes, and we watched it over, it was like 3 or 4 nights. So we Paul and I often laugh. We'll be sitting there watching a TV show that goes for 8 hours. We're like, would we sit and watch an 8-hour movie? And the answer is no. But if you put it into 8 TV episodes, we will. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe we should just go to an 8-hour movie. No, actually, I shouldn't say we've done that, but God, the Lord of the Rings movies, when we went to those, certainly felt like that. That's it. Life stuff. We're prepping really hard for the Queensland Yarn Show, getting lots of the yarn dyed, rolled, up on the racks, ready to go. I'm actually going to take a couple of days either side of that to travel up and travel back, just so we can, have a bit of a break on the way and on the way home. Yeah, so we're really, really looking forward to that. And then we come home, and 4 weeks later we'll be down at the Fiberfest at Wyong. So that will be very, very exciting. And I think that's our last show for the year. So then we might actually get a chance to really take a break, which should be lovely. That's it. All right, I will talk to you very soon. Probably a couple of weeks like normal. See what I can get finished in that couple of weeks for you. Just looking, and I can see another couple of works in progress in front of me that I could probably finish off over those 2 weeks if I focused on them. But we'll see how we go. All right, take care of each other, and I will talk to you again real soon.